Yo, what's up, guys? So we're doing there we go, live reaction to G-Dragon. He just dropped a new album altogether. It was a whole album. I think it was, how many songs are in it? Like 5, 6, 7? It wasn't like, I'm thinking like a 12, 16 song album, but no, it was like a shorter one. And this song is Untitled 2014 is what he called this song, which kind of confused me a little bit because I'm thinking, why Untitled? It's like he didn't want to give it a title for some reason. That's fine. And 2014, so I'm thinking like, did it happen in 2014? What he's talking about? Did he write it in 2014? You know, some of you guys were telling me that he wrote it in 2014. Some of you guys were telling me it's about something then. I'll have to just read it and watch. I know that the music video itself didn't have lyrics, so I put the lyrics right underneath, and they're gonna play at the same time, so you can read along with me, and we can also watch the MV. And this is a live reaction, so right afterwards I'll put the comments live here so we can talk about it. But yeah, this is my first time listening to it. I haven't heard it yet, I haven't read the lyrics, but I did hear that it was really emotional. That's all I know about it. So let me start it from the beginning. 3, 2, 1. It's difficult and hard to come back to me. Who's he talking about? Ooh, it sounds like a breakup, guys. Alright, I'm ready. I'm loving this song. It's so beautiful. I want to see you in my dreams at least and love again. It's like us. Forgiven by you. Sing this song, but I don't I have a feeling they'll reach. It's okay if I lose everything of mine. Dang, yo. I can hear the emotion in his voice. Oh, that's deep. Ooh, chills. Nobody knows. Isn't that the truth? Doing the thing. I bet he's playing the piano. Can G-Dragon play the piano? Oh, that was beautiful. You know, if I couldn't read the lyrics, I would just be like, that is such a beautiful song. But now that I can, it's beautiful and sad. It's so sad. That is so sad. It's just, it's just full of, hold on, I'm sorry guys. It's just a song full of regrets, right? I mean, that's just what it's about. It's really him just missing what he had with this person. You know, it makes you wonder what it's about. It makes you think it has to be about a breakup, right? That's immediately where your mind will jump to if you were to read the lyrics and really think about it. What do you guys think it's about? I'm curious. I'd love to hear what you guys think right now, what you think in your mind this is about. I think it's important to say, and you're gonna like me saying this, but we don't know. We really don't. You know, just as viewers, just as people watching this, until he's in an interview and says, "Oh yeah, this is what I meant when I wrote this song." We have no idea. We can't say for a fact. You know, we're just gonna have to give our best opinions. And speaking of which, do you guys want to hear my opinion? I can tell you now. I want to read some of yours. It's about his ex named Kiko, a Japanese model. Right. That's interesting. So that's what you think he's thinking about, his ex. They've been together for so long, but got leaked around 2014. It's interesting. It's really deep. One of the lyrics in there was specifically just like hit me right in the heart when he was like, you know, I can't let go of this. I don't want to let go of this. Basically the idea or the possibilities. And he said, because we never know. And that's what makes breakups really hard. It's like not knowing if there's a possibility that things could fix themselves, or you could work things out, or if you could get back together. You just don't know. You don't know, and it's the not knowing that makes it difficult for you to heal or to move on. You know, it's very difficult to move on when it's all left up in the air. You know, I think clean breaks are ideal, you know, to say like we ended things and we have no intention on getting back together. As harsh as that is, it can allow each party to move on quicker. Really interesting. Inappropriate K-pop mom. I read your comment. That's a good point. Could have been about that's really interesting. It could have been about Top, right? Because of what's happening right now. It's interesting that has just happened, the whole thing with Top, and then this just got released yesterday. Could definitely be related there a little bit. It made me think of that a little bit. When I was watching it, I definitely did think of, in a little bit, Top. I didn't think of it as much as you said, but it's definitely something interesting to think about. I kind of dismissed it when I started reading the lyrics because it sounded so much like a guy-girl thing. It sounded like a breakup. But, yeah. Raven Hikari, I think it's about his career. He is not sure what to do now. That's deep. You know what? That was my opinion. You remember way back when I was like, you want to hear my opinion? That's what I think, personally. I personally think this is about him and his career. It could be about a girl. I think it makes this beautiful song more complete to make it shed in the light of a relationship ending, because we can all kind of identify with that and cling to it and be like, oh, I understand that, and it makes for a more complete song. But with K-pop, there's usually 3 things going on at every music video. There's the lyrics telling one story, there's the music telling another story, and then there's the visuals from the MV telling a third story. So there's always 3 things going on, and there can be, you know, synergy between the 3 of them. They can all be telling the same story, but very often they're telling different stories. I think it was talking about his career. He's getting older. He's getting a lot older, guys. I mean, he's still in his prime in my mind, but in the entertainment industry, people just really are tough on themselves with age. You know, it's boy bands, you know, when you get to be a certain age, it's like, oh, you can't be a boy band anymore. It's like, well, why? I don't know. We can think about that too as reactors. I've talked to plenty of K-pop reactors, and they had that thing like, oh, I'm getting old. And I'm like, dude, you're not getting old, but they think they are. And I've had that thought. I'm 24 right now. I'm 24. The end of this month, on June 30th, I'll turn 25. How did that happen? 25. It's insane. And he's turning 30, just as she said. And I'm thinking, like, if he's turning 30, he has to be thinking about that. He's thinking about age. He's thinking about how he was such a significant part Big Bang and what's happening with Big Bang. Big Bang is kind of dissolving. And I hate to say it, I hope that they have a comeback. I hope that they all have their respective military services come back stronger than ever. We would certainly all be there for them, and they would get plenty of views and everything. But not in their mind, because not everything is really up to them all the time. It can be, especially with someone like GD, who's like a leader of the K-pop world. But some of these groups, they don't have a whole lot to say. In terms of what happens next with like debuts and stuff like that. Think of 21. It's a prime example. I don't think they necessarily wanted to end at all. I think that it just kind of happened. It was circumstances, and I think Papa YG was like, they're getting old, let's get some new blood in here, and let's start up Blackpink. Let's let that fill the void that they're going to leave when 21 disbands. And I think they're all going to be very successful in their own individual things, but I think that they were following marching orders, and that's just the way of the world. And I think that he's having a lot of introspective, sort of self-reflective thought with his career. It's just he's thinking, how long can I be a K-pop boy band guy? How long can I be a performer at my prime? You don't often see 40-year-old people or 30, even 35-year-old performance. You don't see that very often. It's more common with someone who's purely just a singer or something, but it's not as common in this industry for someone to get to that age and continue. They typically go and they do other things. It's not the way it is. I don't think that's the way it should be, but it's the way it is. It's tough. So I think that's where a lot of this is coming from. I don't personally think it has anything to do with Top. I think that just was circumstance. I think that just happened. That was coincidence. I could be wrong, for sure. And I think that the lyrics themselves were telling a slightly different story, and I think that was about his breakup with this girl. Now she threw shade at him, right? She was recently talking about how she's moved on past him and she was stronger without him and she thought she would be weak without him, but she's like, oh, I'm like all empowered without him, which is fine. Who knows if that's true or she's just putting on a front, because in this industry, in the entertainment industry, you have to entertain, and a lot of people just make stuff up, whenever they want. Some people start drama out of thin air because it gets viral views. I'm not saying that's what happened. She could genuinely feel that way. But it definitely did seem like it was about her, Kiko. Is that her name? Kiko, Kiko. But it was a beautiful song. Simple, but beautiful. And the thing I loved about it wasn't just the beauty of the song itself. The thing I loved about it was the emotion you could hear in his voice. Something else is the entire music video, from what I saw, I could be wrong, but the whole thing looked like it was shot in one cut, meaning they never made any cuts. And they do that with some songs that are very, very emotional, because it's not about the visuals. It's all about the meaning, and it's about watching and just hearing and feeling. And cuts and graphics and special effects can take away from that sometimes. It can just become about that. It's sad, guys. This is so sad. So sad. I would have been a little confused, to be honest. What I wanted was a party song from GD. I wanted him to drop just like 50 Shades of Fire. I wanted him to come back with like Crayon, or just something like just super out there and awesome. Like, that's what I wanted. But I knew I wasn't going to get that. I know it sounds weird, but like when I heard he dropped an MV, I was like, it's got to be sad. It's got to be sad, right? With like everything coming up with like Big Bang and what's going to happen with that, and with Top, what's happening with probably, he would consider him his best friend, one of his best friends. They're family. Oh, it's so sad. Family are the only ones allowed actually to visit Top in the beginning. I don't know what it's like now, but family were the only ones admitted to see him, which means G-Drag's not even allowed to see Top unconscious. Isn't that insane? That's gonna tear you up. My best friend, if that happened to him and I wasn't allowed to see him, we gonna fight. We gonna fight. Anyway, what do you guys think? I've been monologuing. I'm sorry. It's getting so late. I'm so tired right now. I never film this late. I never do. But I just really wanted to get this reaction done. Listen to the album. You know what? I will. Tomorrow, that's my plan. Tomorrow, I wanted to do a live stream reaction, first listen to the whole album. All at once. Top is awake. I heard that. I heard that he's awake, and what, he made eye contact with his mom. They made eye contact, so it's like he's conscious. I think he's gonna do well. I was never I know it sounds like cocky to say, like, oh, I knew this all along, but honestly, the second I heard the news, first of all, I was like, oh, that sucks. That's terrible. That's a crap sandwich unsalted. It made sense to me with everything going on. It made sense why Top is in that mentality, why he's in that state, why he would OD, why he would just go ham and overboard on just his pills. You know, his whole entire image is crumbling right now with some stupid small little scandal. It's ridiculous, but those small things, that can be a chink in your armor that just pierces you right in the heart and can kill your career. That happens all the time. South Korea, much more conservative, much more of a negative connotation view on the weed, on the pot, on the marijuana. You know, that can kill someone's career. It sucks. Suffers from depression, anxiety. I'm thinking, who wouldn't in that state? You know, who wouldn't in the entertainment industry getting that far? The higher you climb, the harder you fall. They know it. They're aware. I think he's very smart and very intelligent. When I hear him talking in interviews, I'm thinking that's a dude who's just very self-aware. And if you're self-aware, you know, if you're very aware of your own mortality, your own humanity, and you know that something small like this could just destroy your image at any turn. So it's tough. It's definitely tough. It's one of those difficult things. I just wish that it was a little different. You know, I wish the entertainment industry wasn't the way it was, but can't change that. It is what it is. Gloss says, what sucks is that in South Korea, suicide rates are so high, yet mental illness isn't taken seriously. That's terrible. Sorry. I'm like, that's terrible! I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't know that. I mean, I know that the suicide rate is high. I didn't know they didn't take mental illness seriously. What do they say? Like, oh, you just need to grow up, or you need to, you know, just not be depressed, as if that's what they want, as if that's what they're trying to do, or if that's their fault at all. Depression's real. Depression plagues many people. You know, I think most people that have depression they're not really even fully aware. They don't want it. They probably just know that there's days where they're down and they don't know why, and they don't want to label themselves as, oh, I'm depressed or anything. No one wants to do that. No one wants to admit that. I wouldn't want to. There have been times where I was depressed and I would never admit it. I would just be like, oh, I'm just, you know, I'll get past this. Sometimes it's not about that. Sometimes it's not based on your circumstances. It's not based on whether things are going well or things are not going well. Sometimes depression hits kind of when it doesn't make sense. That's what depression is. It is embarrassing to admit. I agree. It's a tough thing. Josh, would you ever move to South Korea? Not permanently. I'd miss my family too much. You know, honestly, I would love to live there. I'd live there for a year or two, and, you know, just for a short period of time. I'd love to live in another country. I don't think I could do it permanently. I'm really close to my family, so I don't think I would do that. He most likely doesn't have to go to prison, guys. He will get a fine since it's his first offense. Is that the way it's handled? I hope. I really hope he doesn't go to prison. That's ridiculous. That's insane. That's really insane. We really lack understanding in this world. We do, Faye. We lack so much understanding. We don't know so much. There's more we don't know than we'll ever know. We're just figuring out how the brain works now. We had no idea before. We're just now slowly figuring it out. And we make all these huge generalizations about people's mental conditions and, oh, it must be this or it must be that. Most of the time, 99% of the time, We don't know. We make a best guess. And you can't apply that to everyone. Everyone's unique. You know, it's tough to say. Yeah, Korea is not very tolerant on weed. It's one of those things. Some people even said the thing is not real. He's faking it. Are they awake? It's ridiculous. Faking it. Whew, man. Okay, Mom has to go do some editing. Go kill it. Go kill it. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and complete this review. I don't know how much of that I'm going to keep. I could just make the whole thing one cut and not even edit it. Sometimes after a live stream, I like to go through it. And if there's chunks where we talk about something that really had nothing to do with the stream, I'll take it out. Just so that people that are watching the stream later, they don't get annoyed by anything like that and any tangents. But yeah, it's one of those things. I'm feeling the need that I'm reading some of your comments right now. I'm reading all of them. And I just feel the need, I want to just start a live stream and just do that for the next 2 hours and talk to you guys. But I can't, priorities. It's 11 p.m. I haven't eaten dinner, so I'll probably eat dinner, a late dinner, which I shouldn't be eating so close to bed. That's bad for you. So we're figuring out if there's links to eating early before, eating right before bed. It has some links to different types of cancers, different types of illnesses. That's another thing. We had no idea. We used to put lead into paint and paint houses with lead. We used to do that. And now we're like, oh yeah, lead gives you cancer. Let's not do that anymore. We just figured that out. Sunscreen is a new thing. The people, you guys watching, I know my demographics with, the age groups of people watching me. We're all around the same age, you and I. We're between, high school and college. That's the biggest chunk of you guys right now watching me. We all know a world where there was always sunscreen. Think about any of our grandparents. They didn't have sunscreen. I was just talking to my grandfather, and he was like, yeah, there was no such thing. If we went out, in the neighborhood with all the kids, and we'd be out all day, and basically what happened is you'd turn cherry red the next day. You'd peel like crazy. You'd peel it all off in one sheet, and then you'd go back out again. I'm like, what? That's why there's a skyrocketing of skin cancer. We had no idea, and now we do. We're figuring out so many things. We're going to figure out things. You and I, we're going to figure out things that our kids one day are going to be like, you did what? And they won't be able to believe it. We're going to be like, yeah, we just drank milk from cows. We would just milk cows. And then, we would be in the grocery store and we'd just drink it. And they're like, you had no idea that was a direct link to brain cancer? It's like, no, we didn't know. I'm not saying milk causes brain cancer, but there's going to be examples like that where we're going to be like, we had no idea. The smartest people in the world hadn't figured that out yet. So there's such a lack of knowledge. Even 100 years ago, the 1900s, it's insane. It really is insane. Take a newspaper, any newspaper today, let's say the New York Times, pick it up. The amount of information in one issue, one newspaper of the New York Times, is more information than the average person in the 1900s would come across in their entire life. 1910, 1920. That's insane. We didn't know. There's such a lack of information. It's one of those things. Man, I could talk forever about this. You guys are getting me all excited about talking about that kind of thing. It's really interesting. But I'll save that for the live stream. All right. Well, I'll cut all that so people later on won't have to deal with that. So let's make a cut right here. And then what do I talk about? I'll talk about my final thoughts. It's 11 p.m. and you're talking about milking cows. That's so true. I'm talking about milking cows at 11 p.m. All right. I'm going to go and finish. I'm going to finish this entire thing. All right. What are my final thoughts? Final thoughts. I thought it was an amazing MV. I thought it was powerful. I don't like the slow stuff. You guys know this about me. I don't like the melancholy, the ballads. I don't want to feel anything negative. I like feeling good feels, good vibes, sharing those things and trying to always stay positive. Even when I'm not feeling good, I fake it till I make it. A mindset is such a powerful thing. When you start dwelling on negative things, it can make you negative even if you weren't negative in the first place. But with this, I think it's different. I only like something like this when it really has you feeling and it has you reflecting on your humanity. It has you asking questions about your own life. It has you being introspective and actually causing some constructive thought. That doesn't happen very often. Sometimes I just hear a sad breakup song for no reason, and I'm thinking, they were single before this song, they were single after, so they made up a song about this just to make up a song about it. With GD, I think it's different. I think he's feeling them feels for real. The lyrics might not have been exactly what he was thinking when he wrote this song or when he recently released it. He might have had something completely different in his mind. But I definitely think it was on something real. I don't think this was made up. I don't think those lyrics came out of nothing. I don't think he's just trying to please his fans. I think he's beyond trying to please his fans. He's been pleasing his fans since he was 12 years old. I mean, remember when GD was when he was training, his first earliest year? Little GD is so cute. And I'm thinking, dude, this dude has been in the industry for so long. Now he's just feeling so many different feels, pulling him in different directions, with what's happening with Big Bang, what's happening with Top, what happened in his own personal life, relationship life, I should say, what happens in his career, his own fears of what he loves to do possibly getting taken from him by the enemy of age, just the way people view that in the industry. It's really powerful stuff to think about. It's important to reflect on that. I'm 24. I'm not 29 or turning 30, but I'm going to get there. So it's important for me to see that and reflect now and say, well, listen, I don't want to worry about that then, and I don't want that to hold me back now. Let me use that and let me reflect on that and let me take advantage of youth right now and the opportunities surrounding right now, because I don't necessarily want to be 29 with regrets and write a melancholy song. I mean, if I got that successful that I could make a song like he just made, I'd be okay with a few regrets. I would be. I'll take it. But I mean, who knows? We can't say that unless we're in that situation. I'm getting a little punchy right now. It's 11:07 p.m. Do you guys know the term punchy? I don't know if you guys use that or if that was just something in my family or if it's it was everywhere. Punchy, it's when it's so late, you stop making sense and you start laughing at everything. I feel myself slowly going into punchy. That's when you know it's time to stop filming. So thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for hitting me up and telling me to watch this MV. You guys were immediately just there was no getting around it. Every social media platform, you guys were relentless. That's what I like. The more spam requests I get, the more I'm okay, I gotta watch this immediately. Sometimes I'm not on top of the Twitter sphere. I don't know what's coming out. I'm not necessarily got that little bell, the notifications on all the subscribe to all the channels I have. So it's important for me to communicate with you guys, and you guys let me know about a lot of things. But yeah, am I even making sense right now? I'll watch this later and figure that out. I hope so. Thanks again for watching. Please comment below on anything else you'd like me to react to. My plan is tomorrow do a live reaction, first listen to the whole album, a live stream for the whole album. But other than that, if there's anything else you guys can think of or anything coming out, because I only know of a couple comebacks coming up in the month of June. I think Mamamoo is having a comeback. Also, I heard something about FX, didn't I? And I also heard about Blackpink, but I don't know when that is. There's a couple things coming up, and I'm really excited. But if you guys could give me some K knowledge, and help me out with the comebacks coming up, I'd super appreciate it. All right, love you guys so much. Take it easy, and I will see you in the next stream or video or whatever I end up doing. Peace out.